Show me something. Hello and welcome to the Show Me Something podcast. My name is Will.
I'm Trevor.
And I'm Jacob.
And today I showed the boys the album Helplessness Blues by Fleet Foxes.
Yep.
Yeah, it was good. It was solid. I liked it.
Cool.
I enjoyed it. It's not my type of music, but I enjoyed it.
Fair. Yeah. That's what we're here for.
You know? So I guess there's not really a spoiler version
No,
not
for
really.
this.
Yeah.
So
Fleet Foxes is a, I guess you could say, folk band, primarily based in Seattle, Washington. They've been around since about 2008 was their first album. They've dropped 3 albums. Their first release was Sunshine, which was an EP. Came out in early 2008, and then it was followed quickly by their self-titled debut album, Fleet Foxes, on Sub Pop Records, which is a well-known indie record label. They have had Nirvana, is probably the most notable one for a wider audience. Helplessness Blues, the one that we're talking about today, came out in May 2011, and they took like a 6-year hiatus. And
Damn, I didn't know that.
that's
6
a
Yeah.
long hiatus.
Wow.
Yeah, from Helplessness Blues to the next one, which was Crack Up, which
Yeah.
is fantastic. So, yeah, how'd you guys feel?
I listened to it 3 times all the way through, and then certain songs I listened to a lot more than 3 times.
Cool.
So the way that I did it was basically the very first time I listened to it, I was trying to not break down, but make a note on every single song.
Sure.
Which I did that less on the other listens, but it was just me trying to commit the songs to memory.
Yeah.
And then after that, I started to be more free form and kind of train of thought with my notes. It was
nice.
what I was really feeling about the songs. And I also listened to them different places and different times. So the very first time I listened to it, I was in this office where we do the podcast recording, and it was just the middle of the day listening to it, just hanging out on the couch listening and taking notes. And then after that, the second listen, I was outside on the porch at sunset. Classic.
Ooh.
Good spot to listen to a folk band.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the third time was yesterday, mid-afternoon, hanging out on the porch. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I initially rated it out as a 7.5 out of 10 for me. And then on my last listen, I went up to an 8 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
What did you think, Trevor?
So my first 2 listens were at my computer in my room. Because I really just wanted to, the first listen, I really was focusing on it. I had my headphones on. I made sure I wasn't going to be bothered at all. And I just really listened to it and made my notes on it. Second listen, I did while I was doing some emails and stuff, and just had it on as a background thing. Mm-hmm. And my third listen, I was driving here with it. I was planning on doing 2 driving listens because I was supposed to go to work the other day, and then it got canceled due to the outbreak that is happening.
Yeah.
The end of the world. But I enjoyed it. You know, it's not my type of music. Some of the songs I didn't quite get, I guess.
Yeah.
Right on.
Some of them I really liked, actually. There's
there were a couple of them that were pretty different and experimental, the 2-parter songs and stuff like that.
Yeah, the 2-parter songs were interesting. I definitely had one standout favorite, and then the other 2 favorites I kind of was struggling to figure out.
What was your standout?
Are we just going to go into favorite? Yeah, we'll go into favorites.
Yeah, I just
We might
kind of
as well,
curious.
yeah.
My standout favorite was Cascades, actually.
Ooh.
Interesting.
The
Fuck yeah.
instrumental one. I don't know.
It's so good.
The first time I listened to it, I'm listening, and I saw the name, and I'm just all right. There's a Spanish vibe to it, and then the cymbals or the whatever it is just sounds like rain, and I was just man, this is cool. I really dug
fucking
that.
cool.
It's a really good instrumental.
And yeah, what are my notes even?
I think
on
I
it?
overlooked that one a lot because it was an instrumental. I probably wasn't paying enough attention. But my top, the first 2 times I listened to it, my favorite song was Montezuma, the verse track.
Yeah.
Really?
First track on the album. I think it's a fantastic track.
Yeah.
And then every single time also, the first 2 times, my second favorite was Blue Spotted Tail, the second to last track, where it's his vocals are a lot higher and it's just a light acoustic guitar behind him singing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the very last time I listened, which I stick to now, definitely Blue Spotted Tail is my favorite and Montezuma is second.
What's third?
Oh, third. Third switched up a lot, actually. So the first time I listened to it, I didn't have a third. I
Yeah.
just had an easy top two.
Yeah.
And then after that, My third was Lorelei. And actually, no, it stayed as Lorelei. I remember the third time I was listening to it, though, I had to go back and listen to a couple of tracks. Because, like, I was really... That third spot was really
tough.
tricky, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, my other two by that initially were Grown Ocean and Battle Kinsey. Battle Kinsey got knocked right out.
Damn.
Battle Kinsey got knocked out.
Yeah.
And then it stayed Grown Ocean, and then I went Bedouin Dress.
Okay.
So, my other two. So, like, I kind of switched around a little bit. What I settled on was Sib. Oh my God, I can't read my own handwriting. Yeah, Sib Salabim.
Yeah.
I was very close with that. The guitar on that is amazing.
Yeah.
Really like it.
Battle Kenzie as well. But also, I want to.
It's such a weird song.
I have I just want to do a huge like honorable mention, I guess, because I loved the Shrine and Argument. I love his vocals in that one.
Yeah.
Whenever he really feels like he's like just working them and like belting, like whenever he really brings up his vocals,
It's
I was
rare.
like, that's fantastic. But other parts of the song, I wasn't a huge fan of.
Like
Is it the horns and
saxophone?
stuff?
The
No,
saxophone?
honestly, the horns was interesting. It was
Was that
interesting
supposed to
take.
be the argument? Was
Yeah.
the horns?
I assumed,
I
yeah.
think so.
But
Okay, that's what I thought.
I don't know for sure, but you'd have to assume.
I kind of dug the horns and stuff, but just other parts of the song, I was just like, it's okay.
Okay.
That was interesting, the horns, and then his vocals were what kept me coming back to that song. I was like,
Yeah.
man, I wish he did another song where he really just would like belt it more.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, because he's a great singer through the rest of them, but that one particular just
Yeah.
really going at it, just I liked that a lot, and I wish I heard more of it.
I also feel like I really wanted to like the two-parter songs more than I did because I just like that kind of thing. Like like Green Day does it sometimes with like they have songs that are like 4 songs in one.
Yeah.
And they're fantastic. I think they do that on American Idiot. It's just kind of fun when bands will do that, or if they do like an A and B side of the song. I know the Black Keys have done that, and they're like drastically different.
Queen
but the
did a
lyrics
bunch
are
of
same.
those, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Queen did a
Bohemian
bunch of
Rhapsody. This is probably like the
Oh,
foremost
yeah.
example.
Yeah, true. But yeah, so what do you think? It's your album.
Yeah. So, well, I will say, just touching on that point before I move into my own thoughts, their next album, Crack Up, has a lot more of the 2-parter, if not more parter songs. I think there's 2 that use the same title format of like one song / one song.
Yeah.
One song. They dive into that a lot more on Crack Up, which is also wonderful, as is their first album. I'm a huge fan, obviously. I have listened to Fleet Foxes since my freshman year in college, which was 2009. I got into their first album as a freshman, listened to it a lot my freshman year, which was kind of like an isolated time for me.
Yeah, it's that kind of music. It reminds me when I was listening to Bon Iver in college.
Well, yeah, that's exactly. It was Fleet Fox's first album, the subtitled, and it was Forever Ago.
Classic.
Was
you were
like
just crying in your room
yeah.
playing the banjo.
I mean, it was a weird time, man. I mean, like I enjoyed college, but I'm more introverted than extroverted generally. Yeah. So I spent a lot of time my freshman year like hanging out in my dorm alone, playing Modern Warfare 2.
Right
on the top bunk.
Getting good at Rust.
Getting good. Yeah. Hitting the fall camo on the Scar and the AUG, you know.
Dropping nukes.
Got to. Never dropped a nuke in my life, actually.
Me neither.
Not a big kill guy.
No.
I'm a support
That's
guy.
25. And
Yeah, that's
You have to go
insane.
25 in
That's
a row.
insane. Yeah,
I think
anyway.
it's 25.
Didn't play a lot of Call of Duty. Played a lot of other games.
Yeah, you were
Wasn't a Call
Hearthstone guy.
of Duty. No.
No, Hearthstone was afterwards.
Yeah.
Hearthstone was way after.
I was a
I played.
Hearthstone boy.
I didn't actually play much Hearthstone in college. I played mostly Overwatch in college.
It's all I
Oh,
played in college was
Fuck
Hearthstone.
you guys.
I
Damn,
played it for 3
I
years.
forget that I'm like, yeah, I played Overwatch. I've played Overwatch consistently since I've lived here, but that's 4 years ago.
I
for
haven't
me,
played
so-
Overwatch in a while now because
Yeah.
my internet's trash. So
It's
hard
great.
to play stuff. But anyways,
Well, anyway, so I listened to them from their first album onwards. So when this album came out, it was anticipated for me. So I've lived with this album for 9 years now, the better part of 9 years. So I remember it coming out. I was a sophomore in my second semester, and I remember like coming back from the gym, and it had like came out, and I laid down on the floor of my dorm room and listened to it front to back. So like,
Nice.
I have a lot of experience with this album.
Yeah.
It's probably hard for me to talk about without being like super gushy and kind of nonsensical about.
go for
No,
it.
man, yeah.
But it's like top 3 albums of all time for me.
Dang.
And there have been times in my life where I've said it's my favorite album of all time. I'm a huge music guy. Music is my favorite thing in the world. So I'll bring obviously a lot of film and whatever else to this podcast, but I think music will be the thing that I enjoy bringing to you guys the most because we all, I think, have pretty different tastes in terms of what we've been experienced to.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Jacob and I have a decent Venn diagram, I want to say, of like stuff that we have
Kind of, yeah.
that we listen to. Like we both love Kanye, we both love Kendrick.
Yeah.
I like the Black Keys. I know you love the Black Keys.
Yeah, I do love the Black
And then I'm very much the outlier.
Yeah,
I feel like.
Trevor listens to anime music and country music.
Yep,
Yeah.
pretty much anime, country, and then weird drips of dubstep and pop and just anything. Like
I like pop music.
a lot of times my music taste comes from a visual thing. Like I watched a video with a really a really cool video with a song backing it, and then for some reason I just want to keep listening to that song because I keep at that point then replay the video in my head at that point.
For
So
sure.
a lot of my music, like I don't have.
You like having a visual medium with your
Yeah,
music.
I don't really like you guys listen to albums. You guys really appreciate music, and me, I don't know if I've ever sat down and listened and appreciated an album before this.
Wow.
Like I tried to think about this, and I'm like, I've probably listened to an album, like a country album, at some point in my life.
Like in the car or
Could
something.
never think of the one time I did because I would never purposely put it on
Your parents never would put on an album like in the car on a road trip?
radio.
Even on road trips?
Yep.
When you have to skip around?
No
Oh, wow.
shit.
Find a new station.
We had backup CDs in the car.
Same.
Like we had, when I was a kid, they were country albums. And then later on, my mom had like Black Keys CDs and stuff. That was like more us centric.
We did. Oh, you know what? Okay, I definitely listened to the Backstreet Boys and stuff because
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Their
we had,
Millennium
like-
album? Hell yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
what?
CDs as kid. Like yeah, okay, those CDs as
I
Black
had,
and
kids.
Blue?
we had a dope ass boombox, my dude, and we would
Same.
just hang out on the porch and listen to it.
Same.
But I never appreciated him. I was just like, I'd listen to it and then, like after I was like, because I'm a kid, I'm just like, all right, skip. Here's the song I like. Skip. Here's the other song I like.
feel you. Although I would listen to obviously like the Now CDs where it's a complete mix.
Yeah.
You usually pretty much just listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
I know I would. I would like had my CD player and like sit on the swing and just like listen to music.
Yeah.
We had Kids Bop.
And just an angsty little kid.
Damn, this is crazy. I think that I won't do a movie for like months now, and I'm just gonna give you guys albums because
That's fine.
I'm down.
because the idea of hearing that this is like the first album you can remember listening to front to back.
Other than like when I was a little kid listening to Backstreet
Yeah.
Boys or NSYNC or maybe Rascal Flatts. I think we also had that CD.
Nice.
I think my sister had a Britney Spears cassette tape at
Yeah.
one point.
That's fucking awesome.
We had Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera CDs and stuff.
But
Yeah.
like I couldn't remember all the songs on that. It was
No, of course
probably
not.
just the few select songs
like
we really
the first
liked.
3 tracks probably.
Pink. We had a Pink one with
I don't like Pink that much.
Get This Party Start.
Thoughts on Pink?
That
My
was a
parents
pop.
would always turn it down whenever they say you'll be kissing ass. That my parents would always turn the volume down and turn it back.
Oh, they
up
were
again.
on their volume knob.
Oh yeah, they
It's
were
like-
on the volume
that's
knob.
Like that
amazing.
Vine where the person puts on like that Nicki Minaj song and the mom's
No!
just like, no.
Yeah, I think the line is
Exactly.
"Eat that ass like a cupcake."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Classic Vine.
Oh, I
Okay,
love
well
that
that's really exciting, honestly,
So
because
yeah,
I think I probably listen to a new album front to back at least once a week.
yeah, never.
Damn, that's wild.
I
I
don't-
definitely don't do that.
I don't listen to.
I stick to the same artists.
Yeah, I don't listen to music that often. Like,
This is sweet. This is perfect.
yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Like I have albums that I want to recommend you, but I know that Will's already listened to them.
Yeah.
Like
we'll-
for sure.
We'll get to the point where you can like
Yeah.
we're gonna run out of stuff that all like 2 people haven't seen.
Yeah.
Where now it's gonna have to be, well, because I have one show that I really want to show, but you've already seen it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
like,
and I also really want to show it, so we'll get there. And I mean, I know that like Jacob and I both want to show Trevor certain albums that we
For
both are
sure.
very intimate with, and we really want to hear what you want to say. But of
Yeah.
course, I think
I can't wait to hear what.
Yeah,
I
same.
don't want to say what they are, but
no, but
we'll
we
get there.
know
Yeah.
what the other one is talking about. I think a lot of the joy of this pod will be 2 people experiencing something new at the same time, but it will obviously get to a point where
One
a lot of
person.
us have similar interests and we want to share
For sure,
with
especially
the
if
other.
the desire becomes extremely strong,
Right.
which it could.
Yeah, I mean,
Which-
I already really want to show him those two
Yeah.
things.
and we
I
don't even
also
have
wanna
to.
show-
We don't even have to wait until we run out of stuff.
No.
Like
Yeah.
it's once we're I think a little bit more established in the format, then
Right.
we start switching it up a little bit.
Agree.
But
Yeah, it'll be sometime in the future.
But Trevor, did you say what you rated the album as a whole?
I did not.
Or what do you think? Give it a ballpark. I don't know if you were prepared for that or not.
I'm like, I tried to be prepared for that, but like I didn't. I did enjoy it, but I would not put this on again. No offense.
Why would I be offended at that?
I don't know, because we haven't had a situation yet where somebody didn't love the thing.
I mean, you played music last week while we were hanging out after recording that neither of us
We
would
kind
ever
of say
listen to
that with
again.
Dave though. We were. It was like a
True.
cautious recommendation.
I don't know, like 6.
6
Because
out of
I
10.
personally, I'm glad I listened to this.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. It's something I am not used to, but it's not something I personally would go, you know what? Like even Cascade, which I really enjoyed. I don't know if I'll ever put it on again, except maybe once or twice in the future. I'll be like, that was a cool.
See, that's what I think
moment.
is good about curating really specific playlists, though, because you could always throw that song on to
Yeah.
like a deep playlist that's similar.
Right.
Like I did that for a couple of tracks on my Easy and Chill playlist because the whole playlist is like that kind of vibe.
And you're always
so,
putting
like,
that on
even
when
if
I'm
I
here,
won't think
so.
of the band again, I'll be able to hear that song again,
Yeah.
and it'll throw me back in.
True.
But you don't really use Spotify.
No, not
You don't have premium.
Yeah, I don't even have Spotify.
You need to listen to it on
Free
YouTube.
boy. Oh shit. Bro, I could have given you the CD. Now I know. All right.
Yeah.
Next time I'll just bring you the CD because I have
You brought
over
them
100
CDs.
CDs. I have like 50 vinyls. Like I'm a music boy.
Yeah.
I went to school for film, but music has always been my first.
I mean, you composed the intro to our podcast.
Well, yeah, shameless plug. Yeah,
So-
I did.
You are definitely the most musical of the three of us.
Well, yeah, I take pride in that.
But
I
no,
love it.
yeah, I guess a 6, because I did enjoy it, and I'm not putting it at a 6 because I hated it.
Yeah,
Right.
no.
It's just
I don't think a 6 rating is a hate rating.
Not at
Yeah,
all.
it was good.
Yeah,
That's
that's all I can ask for.
kind of it. Like,
Yeah, you listened to it with an open mind, enjoyed certain parts of it.
I very much
and
did.
Are
Like,
open about the fact that it is way outside your wheelhouse.
it
which I
is
think
like folk. I've had people try. Like, I think someone in college tried to recommend a folk band to me once.
yeah,
And I think I listened to a couple of the songs, and I was like,
It
okay.
seems like it would be in your wheelhouse, which is the craziest thing, because it's like it's like just a different form of like country music,
yeah.
essentially.
I'll recommend more stuff.
And no, please, like, don't let this influence how. Obviously, like, we know that this shouldn't, like, no rating should influence what we bring.
Right.
Like maybe if I listen to more folk stuff, I might get into it more.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start to appreciate
Yeah.
it more. But like for now, yeah.
No, that's
it's
great.
It's like folky, like alt indie rock.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like so I was trying to compare it to stuff for people that haven't listened to it.
Yeah.
With like more mainstream ish stuff.
And I can do that too.
So I thought it was similar to like Mumford and Sons mixed with of Monsters and Men and the Lumineers.
Okay.
It was like a mix of all those together and like a little bit of Bon Iver.
that hurts my soul.
You
but
think so?
Yeah. Just because I have the music snob angle of like
Well, those are like
Mumford
more
and Sons are
mainstream.
pop music and
Yeah, but they
Lumineers
have a
are
banjo.
pop. They do. Yeah, no, for sure.
And they definitely use the same instruments.
Instrumentally, it's similar, and especially harmonically, I think.
Yeah.
How Mumford and Sons specifically are similar.
I think that's a good
no, it's great.
comparison.
The first two Mumford
idea.
and Sons albums are wonderful, and as they came out, I listened to them religiously. I saw them in college in concert.
Nice. I haven't.
Some of the stuff that both the band themselves have cited and also who I feel they're similar to, like Crosby, Stills and Nash, or Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, is a band from like the 70s that's like folk or Americana type music.
Yeah.
That use similarly layered vocal harmonies and the similar instrumentals. I mean, this album is unlike anything I've heard. Their first album, the self-titled album, is a lot more Crosby, Stills and Nash. I think this album, and especially the next one, Crack Up, really are in a league of their own in terms of comparing them to other stuff.
Yeah.
But also Pet Sounds by Beach Boys is a big analog for Fleet Foxes. And if y'all haven't heard that,
No, I haven't.
Nope.
oh fuck, all right, that honestly might
I haven't
be-
heard the first band you mentioned either.
Pretty much as soon as like. If you ask, have you heard this album, to me, the answer is always going to be no, unless you've shown it to me.
God damn, that's so exciting.
Mine with a lot of old music, it's definitely going to be no.
Okay.
My parents didn't really listen to like any classic stuff.
So you don't know Beach Boys at all, really?
I know like their popular songs
Right,
and stuff.
But you haven't heard Pet Sounds.
Maybe not. I mean, it doesn't. I don't know any of the names of their songs.
Okay. Well, Pet Sounds might be my next
Or
episode.
albums.
So at this point,
All right, I dig
Spoiler.
I dig
yeah,
the Beach
spoiler,
Boys.
sorry.
Like,
yeah,
their
that's like
popular
a
stuff was cool.
That's a super touchstone album, especially for music like
Yeah.
this. Yeah, this is very exciting for me. This is my favorite shit in the world.
I mean,
so-
it was only until last year when I finally got into Elton John and the Beatles.
Yeah, that's
like,
fair. Yeah,
because
yeah.
I just did not listen to any classic stuff at all.
Yeah.
Like my parents, they would listen to country when I was a kid, like I was saying,
Right.
like 90s country, and then they just listened to whatever we did.
My parents are
which was alt rock.
My parents are 65 and 75.
Yeah.
So I think my parents are both significantly older than yours, right?
Mine are in
my-
their late 50s.
My dad's 60 something, and my mom's
Nice.
coming like somewhere around, like I'm lower than that, but somewhere around there.
Okay, so
I don't want to say
I grew up with a lot of like Bob Dylan.
Should be pissed.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan, the Beatles, Rolling Stones, Beach Boys were like always in my house.
Nice.
I've never listened to country in my home ever. I'm also from New York, not from Florida, so I think
You're going to show us a country album,
it's a bit
Trevor?
different. Dude, I'm down.
I mean,
super
I
down.
actually
I'll
have-
listen to Alan Jackson.
I've been thinking about trying to get an Eric Church album. Like for me,
Is
really,
that the steampunk guy that you showed me?
yeah, I guess, yeah.
From that one music video you showed me?
There's a really, yeah. What's it called? Cannot remember the name of the song right now. I'm really bad at names.
You guys
okay.
will find it.
Um,
It's a music video from Eric Church, you said, right?
Yeah,
Very
Eric Church.
steampunky.
Eric Church is a very different country artist, to be fair.
And
He's-
his song was good.
Have you
It was
listened to
good.
Sturgill Simpson? Sturgill Simpson?
Probably.
Okay. He's like a spacey country guy.
Oh, okay. Eric Church is very. I think he's got more of like God. I don't even know what type. He's very different from like standard country.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion.
I'm pretty sure I've heard him. Both my roommates in college were big country kids, and then my girlfriend loves country and was raised on country. So I'm sure I've heard Eric Church.
Mm-hmm.
She's played me like a few of her like more 90s centric.
Creepin'. That's the name of the song.
Can't say I'm familiar.
Okay.
But I there's a strong chance I've heard it. Country and metal are like the two final frontiers of music for me.
Mm-hmm.
Metal I'm still not really there on, but I've heard at this point a lot of country that I like. And I was always very staunchly like, nah, I don't fuck with country. But
I mean, modern country.
The closest I get to it is Johnny Cash and Jimmy Buffett.
I really
Yeah.
fuck with Johnny Cash. Jimmy
Love
Buffett,
Johnny Cash.
not so much. But
I love Johnny. I love both of them. but
Jimmy Buffett has like a couple good songs.
yeah,
You don't like?
I just can't get with the song called "Cheeseburger in Paradise."
That's
It's
not a
great.
good song. Cheeseburger in Paradise is not a good one.
It's not
Margaritaville is a
Margaritaville's
classic.
great.
He's got a great voice.
And him and Alan Jackson doing 5 O'Clock Somewhere is great.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a great song.
You can't tell me that when you're at the beach you don't want to listen to those songs.
I don't.
That's crazy.
I want to listen
That
to
is
lo-fi.
insane.
In the Keys?
I've never been to the Keys.
We'll
so,
go.
We gotta go.
alright, cool.
Show me something. The Keys.
Oh fuck
That'd
yeah.
be wild.
On
me
the
something-
road.
Show me something travel pod. That'd be sweet.
That'd be fun. Actually,
We tried to do a pod down there. We didn't have enough time though. Remember we brought our mics.
Did we?
Mm-hmm.
Don't remember that at all.
Way to go, guys.
We were drunk.
Shameful.
But yeah,
Let me
no,
just-
I might try and look through an album and figure out something. But
yeah. I think it's a welcome. Well, we've done a ton of movies already, right? So
we've done
I'll probably
3
continue to bring
movies at this
movies.
point.
we're 50% movies as of the recordings that we'll finish today.
Yeah. I feel like I'll probably be the most steady with bringing movies.
And that's great.
That's
More
like
than
that's
likely.
like
I
my
love them.
medium because I haven't seen as many TV shows as you guys or listened to as much music as you.
You're basically movies. I'm more or less TV, and you're
and I'm
more or less music,
which is
so.
great. It's a perfect like
Yeah.
combination of what we're doing. So let me just drop my top 3 before
Yeah,
we go
go for
into
it.
more.
Oh, yeah, hit it.
We go into a more.
I assume song by song after this.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm cool with that. We haven't done an album yet, so
And I also have a question.
Okay.
For you, or
Do your top
for both
3
of you,
first.
really.
all right. Let me do top 3. Number 1 is the self-titled track, "Helplessness Blues," the title track. Surprised no mentions on that one. That song fucks me up. Like I cry to that song constantly.
Dang. Okay.
Really?
It is amazing. Number 2 is Montezuma.
Hell yeah.
And number 3 is probably Grown Ocean.
Okay.
Those are, I think, like the big thematic tracks on the album that touch on the themes that they wanted to cover about like where you are in life and not belonging and feeling like you want to belong in something greater than yourself and that type of stuff. Those songs just fucking hit me.
Grown Ocean was close for me. I mean, it was 4 consistently for me.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't like Blue Spotted Tail more.
I love Blue Spotted Tail. It was almost a 3.
Nice.
But Grown Ocean
such a good track.
Grown Ocean hits different, man.
It was good.
I love that kind of music though, with the boosted vocals and like light guitar.
Yeah, it's such a nice, soft little song. Yeah. And it's fucking. I mean, his voice.
It reminds me of like the acoustic sets that people do, which I always love those versions of songs better than the studio version.
Yeah,
that's fair.
He has one of the purest voices I've ever heard. The lead singer is a guy named Robin Pecknold. And I've said multiple times in my life, like, if I could sing, I would want to sing like him. Or, like, if I was going to die and I had to have somebody sing to me, I want it to be his voice.
Damn.
Like, that voice, it's like a voice of a fucking angel to me. Let alone his songwriting capability and whatever else. But, like, just such a pure voice. And you hear that a lot more on the first album, I think, where it's, like, just these crazy, like, sun-drenched harmonies. It's less dark. It's a much more a brighter album. You may honestly have heard a few of those songs because they were like really popping in like Starbucks.
Yeah,
or
I mean,
like
Abby said
house
she knew the band,
right?
So like I thought when she said that I was gonna know some of the songs, but I didn't. So.
Yeah, well, if you do, it wouldn't be songs off of this album. It'll be off the first album. So. They had their little moment in the sun.
So this is the album that they like when they're at
they veered
concerts
off.
that they're like, come on guys, if you're a real fan, you'll know songs off this album.
Yeah, I mean from what I've seen, I haven't seen them live.
I hate when
unfortunately.
bands do that.
they're like my bucket list concert.
You haven't seen them live?
I haven't.
Have they toured?
Yeah,
like,
they tour every album. Yeah, every album they tour.
What was your last album?
Crack Up in 2017. They didn't come to Florida though.
Where's the closest they went? Atlanta?
I think probably Atlanta.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic hub is the deepest south anyone will go.
Fuck. It's the worst.
Unless they extend the tour. When
they tour, though, they generally do whatever album is the most current, and then they'll sparse in songs from their older stuff. So, I don't know what I was saying. We can jump
well, I do have a question
for
you guys. Do you guys know how people decide... like what song to name the album after, or like how to even pick that if they do? Like where does that even come from? Like why did they choose Helplessness Blues? I think I was also thinking that because I didn't think it was the most like standout song on the album.
Yeah.
So it felt like curious to me.
I mean,
interesting.
I assume it's the overall theme. They try and go with that, but also I don't know much about music at all. So
yeah, I think it depends largely on the band. I mean, for them specifically, Robin Pecknold is the one who writes all the songs. Lyrically, and then he has a consistent band that he works with to do all the music and fill it out and stuff like that. I don't really know. I mean, I know their next album, he got the name from a F. Scott Fitzgerald short story called Crack Up, or a book of essays or something like that. Couldn't tell you. I think it's just what he feels. I do know that was the first single for the album. It came out in March. And the album came out in May.
Like, to me, Montezuma feels like the single off the album.
Really?
Yeah.
Wasn't a single.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, it has such, like, an upbeat tone to it, and the lyrics are, like, really nice.
They're fucking amazing.
Like,
it's like the mission statement.
Yeah.
That's why I think those three are my favorite, because I think Montezuma and Helplessness Blues, the track, and Grown Ocean deal with the overall theme of the album.
Yeah.
Of feeling helpless in, like, this modern world type deal. I mean, the opening lines just like...
Yeah, like my very first note on my first listen was Montezuma's really good.
Yeah. I mean, it's fucking...
And that's where I put Off Rip reminds me of the Lumineers and of Monsters and Men.
Yeah, fair. Wow. I think both came after this album.
Yeah, I think so.
Because this was 2011. I don't know when Of Monsters and Men came about, but I know Lumineers didn't pop off until I was in
not Lumineers,
college.
but Of Monsters and Men, I feel like I was listening to it in early high school, and that was around that time for me. But I don't know.
Yeah, no.
But yeah.
So speaking of Montezuma, do we want to start going down the list, I guess, of each song?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Do a little quick discussion on each one?
Yeah, go for it. Those are my... well, let me see. That's my first note. You guys go ahead.
I mean, I thought for some reason it sounded really familiar to me, Montezuma.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's kind of how I felt too, and that's why I thought it was a single off of it.
yeah. I have no
is
idea
weird.
why it felt familiar. It just was. But
It's like a timeless quality almost.
I think so, yeah. I think it also just because it reminds me so hard of those other bands
Interesting.
that it feels like I've had to have heard of it already.
Yeah.
You know?
but it was just interesting. Like my one note is like it's interesting that his thoughts about like in the song are like him talking about am I being selfish? And I'm like, and my thoughts of like on hearing what he's talking like saying, I'm like, you're not being selfish at all. That's just you're living a life.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. I don't know this the meaning I derived from it.
Yeah. That whole thing of like living his life or the life for a purpose greater than his own, I think is like the most consistent theme throughout the album.
Oh, for sure.
But those opening lines, man, it's like, I think I'm going off memory here. So,
That's fair.
So now I'm older than my mother and father
When they had their
were
daughter.
when they had their daughter. So what does that say about me? It's just like right off the fucking bat. I just,
Will's crying the whole time.
just fucking, it's a rap, man. Like, I mean, especially speaking for myself in the current moment, I'm out of a job.
Rip, me too.
We're in the middle of a potential pandemic situation.
And recession.
I think it is technically a pandemic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a pandemic. It's a economic recession. Like,
Has potentially begun.
yeah, this.
Potentially.
I mean, it has hit me this way over the 9 years I've listened and lived with this album. But like laying down on my couch last night to listen to it front to back for the first time in a while, it was just like fucking Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's a real sucker punch, man.
Yeah, I feel
What a
like
way to start an album.
I didn't take enough notes on what the actual like lyrics were of the songs. I don't know if you guys did.
Oh, that's mostly what I was taking notes
Mine
on,
are
honestly.
so random. Mine
That's great though. I love that.
Like
I love
for-
hearing the thought process.
for Bedouin Dress. This is on my first listen notes. I just wrote some dope fiddle action
Great
question mark.
fiddle action.
Same.
Yeah.
Let's move on to that one. Like my first note is dig the fiddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Really
then
nice
mild
fiddle.
Irish tones. Like
Yeah.
I felt very like Happy St. Patrick's Day, guys. By the way,
Yeah, you
Happy
too.
St. Patty's Day.
like yeah, I don't know. It was cool. Like the mild Irish tones. Straight up, had no idea what the song was about.
No, and then I on my third listen is where I started to write about Bedouin Dress again because it moved into my essentially a top 5.
Yeah.
Like because I wrote them down as top 3 and then almost.
Almost.
I wrote I think I underrated it hard in the other listens, which I did. I didn't even think about it as my like could breach the top 5. Like that was when I still had Battery Kinsey in there, which you liked a lot.
I did enjoy
Battery Kinsey's a bizarre song.
It's a bizarre song.
Did it
but
remind you of like a battle song?
that's probably why I liked it. Honestly,
Like it reminded me of like it's not, it doesn't sound similar at all, but it reminded me of like when Coldplay was doing all that Revolutionary War, like French Revolution stuff.
Sure.
You don't know Coldplay?
I know who Coldplay is. I could not tell you a single one of their songs.
That's wild.
Dude, I'm not good with music.
You for sure heard Coldplay before though.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm telling you, I've heard them. I couldn't name a song, and I couldn't hum a song even. But I don't know, like, yeah. But for, I don't know. Bed Down Dress was cool. I just don't know. Bedouin
Dress.
I don't know why I said bed down. Bedouin Dress was cool. I don't know what the lyrics were talking about. I listened to this song. Was one of the few ones I listened to 4 times.
Yeah.
No idea.
So you went back and listened to it again?
Well, because on the way here, I finished the album and then started it over again. And so I got through Montezuma, Bedouin, Simsalabim.
So when you were doing that last final listen, when you knew you were getting close, you weren't picking your top songs, you were just going in order again?
I went in order up until I was pulling into the parking lot, and then I was like, okay, there was one song I really wanted to re-listen to, and I like bumped ahead and I was trying to find it, and I don't think I ever found it.
For me, that was Blue Spotted Tail, and I couldn't listen to it before you came in. I saw you approaching, I was like, fuck, I don't have the time.
You could have kept it going. I would have listened to it again.
I didn't want to spoilerino anything.
I mean, you wouldn't have spoiled it for me, I don't think. I would have just
No,
been,
I mean,
oh,
like,
listen.
yeah, okay, so you wouldn't have thought, like, oh, I picked that song intentionally.
No, I would have just be like, oh, he's almost done with the album. Cool.
Right on.
But yeah, do you know what Bedouin Dress is about?
No, I think
Okay, because I have no clue.
a lot of the songwriting of the band in general is purposefully abstract, I think. There's
Okay.
not like there are certain songs that I don't think there's any like point in trying to discern meaning.
Is it as much like doesn't mean anything as Weezer, where like he has like a spreadsheet of like lyrics and stuff?
I don't know anything about that, so
At least that's what I heard. I heard that on a different podcast.
he just picks lyrics off a spreadsheet.
He has like a whole set of like a spreadsheet, and then he like uses like a formula to make like a song that's gonna sound the best or some shit like
what
that.
the
That's
fuck?
wild.
At least that's what I heard.
No, I don't.
I
think
don't know
it's
if they
like
do that for every album, but
That's wild.
Apparently, it's something that he's done
Interesting.
before.
No, I don't think it's like that. I mean, the first album they
Probably gonna piss off a lot of Weezer fans.
yeah, whatever. Whatever. Haven't been good since Pinkerton, right? Is there?
Pinkerton was really good.
Yeah, Blue Album is always the favorite.
Actually, last
but
year, I went through and was listening to every single one of their albums in
I remember
a row.
that. Yeah.
I didn't finish because I got burned out. Like,
Yeah.
God damn, they have a lot of albums.
They do.
But I listened to a shitload of them in a row.
Yeah.
And Pinkerton was super good.
Pinkerton's great. That's like their quote unquote classic. Outside
Which
of
is
the Blue
crazy
Album.
because it doesn't have, like, it's not a colored album.
No.
It's just Pinkerton.
Yeah.
Which just seemed like, I don't know, they did it randomly. But we're not
They
talking
did.
about Weezer.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think I could even tell you a meaning for any of the songs outside of like Montezuma, Helplessness Blues, Blue Spotted Tail, and Gornosian.
Okay.
A lot of them are just like they sound really nice. The lyrics are beautiful. They evoke a mood more than like an actual meaning.
Definitely. I definitely feel that because I feel like it sounded different to me, which I took notes about. Like, it really depends on what mood I am when I listen to music,
Yeah.
or like where I'm at or what I'm doing or what's going on in my life. Like,
Yeah.
like I'll listen to an album that I love, and if I'm not in the right mood, it doesn't hit the same, and I don't like it as much.
Interesting.
Like, really drastically. Like that that happens a lot with like certain types of like R&B and rap for me. If I'm not in the right mood, I'm not gonna just doesn't hit right.
Okay, for me, I'm always like, because with country music, a lot of songs have a story, like that they're telling during the song.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm always looking for. Is like, all right, what's the little story here, or what are they talking about? What's going on?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I was looking for in every song. And in the 4 times I listened to Edwin Dress, I don't know what they were talking about. I think there was a girl mentioned at one point.
I know there's a geometric pattern dress mentioned at one point.
So like, I don't
Bedouin
know.
dress in the name.
Yeah.
maybe.
So like,
But
that's
if you like stories and stuff, I feel like you could like that aspect of rap
Yes.
when we show it to you.
More than
because a lot
likely.
of rap, especially I assume the stuff that you would show him, has a thematic story to it,
Yeah.
especially over an entire album.
which I
depending on
will
the album.
appreciate, but like,
I have one in particular
Like-
that'd be like a nice deep cut.
I'm gonna mention one. So like, if we ever have him listen to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy,
Yeah.
will we have him watch the short film as well?
I think we have to.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a visual piece to the album. It's essentially a visual album.
that's awesome for me
It's
because
one
I
of the
love
first
visual
times.
stuff.
It's one of the
so-
first times I ever heard of an artist doing a visual album.
Yeah.
Like, it was before, like, Beyonce's Lemonade and shit.
Yep. It wasn't the whole. It was what it was
most of the
title
album.
track, Runaway.
It's like 30 minutes long, so it's like probably half the album because the
Yeah.
album's probably what, like 60 minutes.
Yeah, but the Runaway is like 9 minutes itself.
It's not the entirety of.
They don't
Runaway,
have the
I
outro
think.
on it. Okay.
They have. I think it's. I haven't watched it in a
Yeah,
long time,
me
but I don't
either.
think it's the entirety of the song.
Okay. Yeah, that thing is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, visual albums companions are like a wonderful thing, and they should happen more.
There's one on
they should.
Netflix that I watched not too long ago.
What, the Lonely Island one?
No, that one was funny though. I did watch that one too. There was like,
It seems funny.
it's like about a samurai or something.
Interesting.
I saw it and it was like a weird animated piece, kind of, and I was expecting something like Love, Death, and Robots, which is one of my things I'm going to show you guys, even though I started showing you.
Yeah, I've already seen it.
I've
You saw-
already
I
seen
thought
it
you've
also.
seen it too.
You seen it?
I have.
Never mind then.
Impossible to show.
Wait, what the
But
fuck
big-
is this thing you're talking
big
about?
recommend for
I
you
don't know,
guys
it
out
was,
there.
Samurai visual album.
Yeah, because like I was really confused at first, and then at the end it was like based on the music by this group, and I was like, oh, wild! And it was like every song had a different like little bit of the story to it, but the story would change up drastically. It was wild. It was on Netflix.
Netflix is pumping out all sorts of content.
All sorts of weird stuff, which I love. I love the weird stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like
Wait, was it Sound and Fury?
sounds right. Maybe click on
That's
it.
the motherfucker I just told you about, Sergio Simpson,
Whoops.
the country artist. That's funny.
No, wait, hold on. That can't be it. Then.
No, look.
It was not country music at all.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I Googled Samurai Visual Album Netflix and Sturgill Simpson came up.
Whoops.
Thoughts, Trevor?
Yep, that was
Ah.
it. Hey.
That can't be it.
Can't be it.
See, I don't like.
But I told you he was like a spacey country. It's not like your classic like.
Yeah, so I don't know. I dug that a lot though. It was cool.
Oh, that's sweet. I want to watch it now.
yeah,
That's
oh.
cool.
Do I have something to show this
I think
musical?
you do. Yeah, I think you do.
Oh, I have something to show this
There
musical.
you go.
Exciting.
Right
All right,
on.
cool.
All right, sweet.
Who knows when that'll actually happen? But it's
Whatever.
something-
We'll put it on the list.
Yeah, it's on the list.
We've got a lot to
Anyway.
go over. So
I guess Simsalabim is next.
I love Simsalabim.
It was cool. It was on my definitely like jockeying for place as second or third for me. So
Yeah, it was close for me because I really dug the guitar in it.
Yeah.
yeah, I also cool guitar solo. I like the drums and the fact that really early it has. It's not like I don't think it's like a beat change, but like it like just really. I don't know what the term is, but the volume goes up.
A crescendo.
Sure.
Yeah.
At the really early in the song, it's
Yeah.
really quick from like soft, and then it's like boom, let's go, and I'm like that was cool. And I guess it was about a girl or something who is doing something. Hair cutting was a very serious part of that song
Interesting.
that I noticed.
Like I probably know all
I do
the
not
words
know.
to these songs, but a lot of them don't hold meaning for me.
Okay, so
Outside of just being like wonderful to sing along to.
a lot of my notes.
Yeah,
are
I wasn't-
useless then.
I wasn't.
They're not useless at all.
No, I
Don't
think
say
that's
that.
nice because you listened to something different or you had like a different ear for something
Yeah.
because I wasn't looking for that at all.
It was also really hard for me to go back to this album after having it in my life for so long and like take notes on it. So I didn't take notes. I couldn't. I just like I didn't know what the fuck to say
That's fair.
because it means so much to me. You know, like all I wrote down was the track list, like 1 to 12. I wrote the songs in order. I said what 3 were my favorite, and I would like what songs I thought had the best transition from song to song.
Yeah.
But like otherwise, I felt that I would be able to speak to it just off of memory. But I mean, 9 years of having this album in my life, and I couldn't tell you what songs are about outside of those few that I mentioned before.
And that's fair. Like
Yeah.
I just like that's kind of what I go to is like the what the lyrics are talking about and what
which
it
is
means.
sweet because
Do you spend a lot of time on Rap Genius?
What?
It's just Genius now.
Oh, it is?
Genius.com.
Oh, okay. It's a website where like you can look up the meaning of lyrics.
I've never heard of this.
Oh, wow. It's not just for rap music,
It's
though.
for everything.
It's
Yeah,
for
I was on it today for this album.
Oh.
I've done a good browse of Beatles lyrics on there. It's pretty funny.
It's sweet.
It's
Well,
like a
now
lot
I
of them
feel-
is just like they spend a lot of time on acid and heroin. That's just what the lyric will say, and I'm like, right on.
I don't know if I should look at that though, because I kind of feel like I almost want to go.
Yeah, I
into
mean,
these
I'm just
things
saying I find it
with
interesting.
my interpretation. I
You
guess
can use it for lyrics just alone, though. If you click on certain, couplets, it will tell you a crowdsourced meaning of the lyric.
Okay.
Some artists also, like primarily rap artists, go on there and will annotate the lyrics themselves, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I know Freddie Gibbs does that a lot. One of my favorite rappers. But yeah, I was on there this morning looking at lyrics for Blue Spotted Tail and Grown Ocean, actually.
Oh, nice.
All right,
Yeah.
dope.
I think 2 great songs to end on as well.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Pretty cool
dude.
song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, yeah.
We won't bust our nut on that yet, though. So, Simsalabim is track 3. Nice song. No crazy meaning to it, I don't think.
Yeah, I just my only note about the meaning is about a girl. That's all I got.
Cool.
And then the haircut thing really stood out to me a bit. Like
Yeah.
and the incantations, which I don't even know about that, but he mentions haircutting twice in it.
Yeah.
Like she's like, well,
cut your hair.
that was the second
Yeah.
time, and the first time I think was when I assumed it was haircutting when it was like shaving the youth or like children of the area. I forget what the actual lyrics are,
That's
but
okay.
something about like small kids right after the incantation part.
Interesting.
So I don't know. It was just like I don't know. It was interesting. And then he says Delilah in it, which is one of the syndicated hosts on my radio station.
Hashtag plain white tees. Hey there, Delilah.
Oh,
Fuck
I was
that
thinking.
song.
You know what? Why didn't I go to that? Like I've
Fuck
been
that
working.
I know who you're talking about though. The radio host.
Delilah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's national. They just
She is.
play
She's
her on
nationally
local
syndicated
radios,
out of Seattle, but hey, same place.
There you go.
Uh,
It was about her.
You know
Maybe,
what?
honestly.
She's been on the air for a long time.
I know. I remember she used to be on the radio when my mom would listen to 94.9, and at that time she was on 94.9 instead of whatever the Dove. Is that what she's on now?
Yes.
But I always fucking hated it.
Wow.
I couldn't stand it as a child because it was like people calling in and like talking about how they love people, and I was like, this is trash. I was like, put on some fucking Sean Paul, my dude.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to hear Temperature again.
Where's the Lou Bega? Mambo number 5.
That was me as a kid in the back of my mom's SUV, all the way in the back, so they couldn't hear me.
Third row. Fuck you, Mom.
I was always.
What's that, Jacob?
Jacob, did you like your dinner, honey? I want to listen to something else, Mom.
Good deal. No, I was always in the back of the
was my
Suburban too. So
Yeah,
Mom had a Suburban.
back there on my freaking PSP.
Oh,
Did not have
shout
that. I
out
had a
PSP, homie.
Shout out PSP. Shout out Game Boy Advance.
Jesus
I
Christ.
had a Game Boy Advance SP, and
I had a purple one, not the SP. I had the regular Game Boy Advance, bish.
No, I had an SP, and it was red.
I had the white Game Boy Advance and a silver Game Boy SP.
Oh man, I went purple.
Did you guys ever have a DS?
I had a
Never.
3DS.
I say I had the original big clamshell.
That thing was
motherfucker.
chunky.
I
as
went
fuck.
PSP instead, and that thing was lit as fuck.
I had
that
the
thing
PSP,
was ahead of its time.
I had the PSP when it came out. I didn't get a 3DS until it was like a
Yeah,
little bit later in
I
the
had
life
the
cycle.
OG brick PSP.
Same.
No.
With those mini discs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
never had one of
it
those.
was really dope. Like that thing was.
I used to
powerful.
play Liberty City Stories in my high school French class with my friend. We would like locally play each other
Nice.
in the middle of class in high school. It was
I used to
great.
play Peter Jackson's King Kong on there. Great game,
Whoa.
mind you. That's a
Deep
movie.
cut.
That's a movie game that's actually really solid.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
At least the PSP version of it was dope.
Yeah, I was a Liberty City Stories and Tony Hawk's Underground 1 or 2. I can't remember which one
Those
specifically.
very different.
Yeah, very different, but those were the two. Those
I
were
was an Underground 2 guy. I didn't have Underground 1.
Oh, Underground 1's great. Underground 2 I played a lot more, I think.
I think Underground 2 was just a more polished version of 1.
Same, agree.
I had Animal Crossing on my DS, which was great.
Shout out.
Yo, shout out to
yeah,
fucking Animal Crossing New Horizons
and
dropping
everybody freaking out.
3 days from now
I'm
as
so
of this
hyped.
record, and it will be already out by the time this drops. Trevor and I are very excited.
So excited.
I'm going to self-quarantine myself just so I can play Animal Crossing 24 hours a day.
Honestly.
I'm not going to talk to Jacob. I'm
That's
only
what I've been
talking
doing
to
with
Trevor.
Gunfight.
Yeah, Jacob's a big COD boy right
They're
now.
like, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you applying for jobs and stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah." Fucking playing Gunfight all day.
Yeah, I've
And
been
then-
on
What else? I had some Ace Time Combat or something.
Ace Combat.
No, it was
The playing game?
Yeah, it was a playing game, but it was like you were going through time with it. So like you got different planes throughout history. Like you started out with a little
What?
biplane.
That sounds kind of cool.
It was a weird game I just picked up at Walmart or something. And
I
then
mean, Ace Combat's a classic franchise.
You know what game that does remind me of is Time Splitters. You ever play Time Splitters?
I never played Time
Only the-
Splitters.
Oh,
only
that
the-
game was lit as fuck.
Only the box arcade version, though. I never played it like on my
I
PS2.
played like the PS2 version because my
Never
friend
had
had
the-
it. He brought it over. He's like, "This game is lit," and I played it. It was lit.
It was at my movie theater in Elmsford, New York. We played Time Splitters 2, I want to say, in the lobby. They had
Right
a little
on.
arcade.
A lot of Pokemon games, and as well as Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Great game.
Never played Mystery Dungeon.
Me neither.
Fantastic game.
They
The only
rebooted it,
Pokemon
right?
game
Yeah.
that I've played is
I'm gonna get
Pokemon
it.
Snap.
What?
That's the only one?
What?
I didn't have a Game Boy, and then I never bought any of them for
be-
Game Boy Advance or anything.
To be fair, I only really played Red and Green. Or Fire Red and Leaf Green.
I mean, I remember my
fuck?
So
I remember
know.
my friends had them, and like I would watch them play because they were dope.
All right, I'm
But,
fucking rattled. I was...
You don't like Pokemon Snap, my dude? Take the photos.
Pokemon Snap is amazing.
Launch
It
an
is great.
apple at their face
Wait a
and then
minute.
take a photo of them.
Pokemon Snap is amazing. Don't get me wrong. Never had an N64, but played it at my friends' houses.
Me neither.
Specifically,
What?
Matt Forster. Shout out Matt
I
Forster.
gotta shout out my parents who have my N64. I need to go take it from
Can
them.
I...
get it.
Wait
Yeah.
a minute. You've played Fire Red and Leaf Green, and
Yes.
you've only played Pokemon Snap?
Yes. Oh no, wait. I
Well, I
played.
also played
no.
Mystery Dungeon.
Can I show
I've
you guys
also
Pokemon
played-
Blue?
How would I play?
Yes.
I guess on emulators. Or something?
Yeah.
I've also played
still have my Game Boy.
Pokemon Stadium.
Pokemon Stadium is good, too.
I played a little bit of Stadium at a
It's a
friend's
B
place.
tier Pokemon game, in my opinion.
I played Coliseum a bit.
That's just the sequel, right?
It's the same
I
thing.
think
It's
Stadium?
so, but there's like a story
a
to
bigger
it.
stadium.
All right, so wait.
It's a Roman style stadium.
I moved from California to New York in the year of 1998. My parents bought me a
was
Game
4.
Boy Pocket.
I think I was. I guess I was.
Trevor wasn't born yet. He's
no,
a
I was
Zoomer.
3.
I was 7.
Wait, no. If you were 4, I was 3.
I was 7, going on 8. I moved. I had
Going
first
on
grade
30.
in California. I mean, I've been 30 since I was 2. Moved to California. I finished first grade in California. We moved to New York in second grade. My parents bought me a Game Boy Pocket as a part of the move, like sweeten the deal type situation.
Yeah.
And I had Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, and I had Pokemon Blue.
All right.
Pokemon Blue is top 5 games of all time for me.
Really?
Damn.
I mean,
You could put a
That's
Pokemon game that high?
90
I know people love them,
that's
but it's
90%.
seems intense.
90%
They're all the same
nostalgia.
game, aren't they? Aren't they all the same game?
Why are
More or
you
less.
yelling over me right now?
Sorry, I was
Look at your audio.
I was only making eye
at your
contact
audio.
with Trevor, and I was just like, you know what I'm saying.
They are all the same game, but Blue is the first. See what I'm saying?
Right on.
I mean,
Right.
Fire Red and Leaf Green is
The reboots of those
the
two.
reboots of those
that
games,
gen.
so I've
Yeah.
played them pretty much.
Yeah. Fuck, man. I can't believe you guys never played that. Gold. You never played Gold or Silver?
Nope.
Oh,
I feel like it's past my time now. It's too late.
I never got a 3DS, so I never played any of those.
the biggest shame is that they've just been the same game for these past 20 fucking years.
I do want to play the new one,
It's boring.
but also, yeah, like that's the thing.
Dude, it's
like,
boring. I went through the first 3 towns.
Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shield. And just was like, whatever, dude.
I would have gotten Sword.
Yeah.
I still might. I just
It really disappointed me.
the thing that put me off was that they didn't include all the Pokemon.
Ridiculous.
It's insane. So like, I don't know, man. I do want to play the reboot Mystery Dungeon because Mystery
Yeah.
Dungeon is
Mystery Dungeon DX or something like that? I think
something
it's
like
called?
that. You should definitely play it.
I'm happy to.
You would dig it. It's a cool. I think it's a roguelike.
Okay. I love roguelikes.
I think it's a roguelike.
Was
Or
just playing Enter the
rogue-
Gungeon last night.
Nice. I played very little of it.
It's
I think
fun.
at a friend's place, but it looked really awesome and I want to get it.
That
It's
and
just-
Dead Cells are the 2 best ones.
Dead Cells I haven't played yet.
Dead Cells is a motherfucker.
I've heard it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I was playing Rage last night. Rage 2.
Oh, decent?
It's all right. You know,
Yeah.
I love an open world shooty.
Yeah.
And whenever like the announcement, because I'd played the original Rage on my PC, and I was like, "Oh my god, they're making a second one! Dope!" And so I got it, and I got all the DLC for it, probably against my better judgment.
Yeah.
It's fun, you know.
It's fine.
It's fine. There's nothing. I'm not gonna tell anyone. Like, it's not gonna be on this podcast. I'm not gonna tell
Fair.
anyone go get Rage 2 right now. It was fine.
Yeah, that's how I honestly felt about Pokemon Shield. I haven't finished it. The reason I bought a Nintendo Switch was because of Luigi's Mansion 3, the Pokemon reboot, and Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
So far, Luigi's Mansion lived up to the hype. Pokemon was trash.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, we'll see in a couple days, Animal Crossing is
But what about Breath of the Wild?
wonderful. Yes, Breath of the Wild is unbelievable, as is Mario Odyssey. Those are the 2 flagships, obviously, but I didn't buy the system for those games.
I bought the system for Zelda, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Yeah.
That's my second Zelda game. I played the one on 3DS. What's it called?
There's
A
two of
Link
them on,
Between Worlds?
There's 2 of them on 3DS, which is Phantom Hourglass
Not that one.
and
Link Between
Spirit
Worlds.
Tracks.
Link Between Worlds.
Was that also on?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, 3DS. Right. Sorry, I was thinking original DS. I don't know. Probably. That
Link
sounds
Between
right.
Worlds is fucking awesome.
And I played the original Hero of one of the original like Game Boy games because I got it at a flea market. And I played it on my DS.
Yeah.
Because the old DS had the original Game Boy.
Like Minish Cap or some shit like that.
Nah, it was. I don't remember. It was
Older
a
than
top.
that.
It was the top down
Yeah.
looking motherfucker. and
The
it was
only one that
fun.
I've ever played is Majora's Mask on N64, which I rented at Blockbuster when I was a kid, and I did not understand it, so I played it like once and didn't play it again.
I've heard it's a very
hard.
dark and hard game.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're gonna play on N64,
Oh, and I played like 2 seconds in the car while we went to go get lunch during when we were still working on your Switch.
Yeah, you
'Cause
opened,
you were like-
you
you were
opened
like-
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, you were like, check out this game.
That was like fresh off of me having a Switch and being really gassed about it.
Yeah.
And I had it. I was like, "Cop, open the glove box."
You were like, it's dope. I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll try it. for
He's
these,
like
2
running
minutes.
around.
It is dope.
Yeah, it's amazing. I just beat the 3rd Divine Beast last night.
Have
so-
you seen the speedrun animation that's on YouTube for it? We're gonna have to watch that after this.
I don't think so. And no, we're not, because I don't want to see what the end is like.
Oh right, you haven't beat the game yet.
Motherfucker. No spoilies. All right, anyway. Track number 4. Battery Kinsey.
Yeah, that was like a 45-minute tangent about video games.
Whatever, man. We like a lot of things.
All right, yeah. So Battery Kinsey reminds me of, which I was telling to Trevor, it reminds me of a battle song.
It's probably why I like it,
Yeah.
because a lot of some of my favorite songs are like, I would consider battle anthems, I guess.
What is that? What do you mean?
Like when I
I
hear
only
them,
say that
I
because of the
imagine
drums.
myself. Like when I'm hearing them, imagine either myself in front of or in an army and like hyping everybody up for a big battle. Like yeah, like legends never die and all
See,
this
this
stuff.
seems more just like approaching revolutionary to me with the drums.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Thoughts on that, Will?
That's fun. Yeah. I'm reading the lyrics right now, and I can kind of get Trevor's angle also.
All of my notes though are about. It seems like he's talking about a girl who has someone in her life, whether it's a dad or her current significant other, that's not the singer, that is really shitty. Like keeps her locked away, does not the best stuff to her, and what he would do to get her into his life. That's all of my notes.
In Battery Kinsey?
Yeah.
Huh?
Because I'm reading these lyrics and I don't understand what you're saying.
No? All right, cool. It's right at the end. Go to the end of the song. Towards the end of the song. Let me see. Whoa, why is this doing this weird thing with the ad?
Just scroll up past it.
Okay. He kept you beneath him. He kept you on lock and key. He paid the wage
You sent to me.
sent to me. I don't know, like he was trying to keep him away from her.
Interesting.
That was my interpretation of it.
I
anyways.
love music. God damn it. It's just the fucking different things we can all take away from the same song. It's just really awesome.
I should have wrote down lyrics probably.
No.
Support
I didn't either, and that's why I have
I
it
didn't
up
write
right
down
now.
any lyrics at all.
Because it's also the album I have to like
Mine's
really,
train of thought is a motherfucker.
yeah. And I have no notes, so the lyrics will help me realize what song we're talking about. This song is a fucking banger.
I enjoyed it. It was my number 2, I believe.
Yeah, it's really good.
It was in my top 5, and I kicked it out.
Harsh.
It's
I had
great.
to. There was too many good tracks.
All right,
After that is The Plains / Bitter Dancer.
fucking love it.
So my notes, I'll read you out because I haven't done this in any of the other ones. I'll read you out my train of thought notes. So I said, start slow, just drum and some strumming. Tambourine, question mark?
Hell yeah.
And then I said chanting comes in around 1 minute.
Yeah, I put-
stops at 2 minutes. Singing commences. And then I said, I think that's where Bitter Dancer starts. And then I said it breaks down again at 4:20.
Yeah.
Plays it.
Is that when it's like at arm's length? I will hold you
I
there.
think so.
I love that.
I dig the choir at the beginning. It felt like a Western song
Chanting.
for me for some
There was
reason.
this-
Yeah.
I love the chanting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man, this feels like the whole time, throughout the entire, I guess, 2-part song, I felt like it was the story of an old spaghetti Western. For some reason, my mind was going to the bitter dancer that shows up and gets a room is like a dancer who shows up in like a Western town, like gets a room like above the bar at the...
That's wild, man. You were
And
making
I
stories
love
in your
how
head.
thematic
And-
you made this album. It makes me really happy.
Dude, I don't know. That's what I do. And then, like, somehow she either ruins his life or his son's life. And so he either, at that point, starts holding her or his son at arm's length. Because either she did something to fuck up his life, or somehow his son did something wrong, and so he's now holding him at arm's length. That was my whole thing. That was, yeah. And I don't know, I like the tempo change part the way through. I
Yeah.
also wrote
Yeah.
that down.
Yeah.
But I
The
don't know,
tempo changes in the songs are dope.
the whole
'Cause it
time
does that
I
in the other one too.
was just
The other one.
imagining the person he's singing about as like with the long flowing like weird red dress type thing that you would see in westerns at times, like the little thing on their head.
Interesting.
And like that's the person that got the room. She's the dancer. Or I don't know. That was my whole. I don't know. Okay.
You're
No, what do
making
you-
noises like you're embarrassed what you're
Yeah,
saying,
but I like it.
it's awesome.
Like yeah, I start. That's what I do. I build a story around it. I guess
That's fucking
But,
great.
Like yeah.
That's valuable, Trevor.
Well, thank you.
Stop acting like
scared.
it's a fucking embarrassing thing. This is valuable.
Well, thanks, man. But yeah, that's all my notes though, for real though. Like,
Yeah, that song's
Yeah.
a bop.
I don't know. I
every
dug
song
it.
is a bop.
I got a Western out of it.
Nice.
That's sweet.
And the track after that is Helplessness Blues.
Yeah, title track.
Yeah, your
My
favorite?
number one. Yeah.
I did feel that. This starts, in my mind, though, the love of apples that I felt in this album. There's 2 songs where they talk about
Yeah,
apples.
he's right.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the deal with apples, man?
love apples, man.
What's the deal?
Damn.
But yeah, no, I dug this one. It's for me, I was like, it's kind of a love song almost.
Also, is this the only track where they have an electric guitar?
I think so.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, that's different.
Yeah.
Still didn't catch me as a single though.
No, I know. And it was the first one. They made
Yeah.
a video for it too, I think.
Oh, wow.
I think.
Ooh, I'll
I
have
could
to
be
watch
wrong.
that.
Their video is really cool. All their music videos throughout their career are made by the lead singer Robin's brother Sean Pecknold, and they're all animated.
Ooh, I
Either
dig that.
A la Gorillas.
Yeah, but not that type of animated, like claymation or like paper animation. Like
Yeah.
they're sweet. They're really cool.
Papercraft or whatever. you know.
I think I'm wrong. They're not all animation. The first few are. As of Crack Up, I think at least one is with real people in it. Anyway, this song is an all-time song for me. The album I've already mentioned is an all-time album, but this song in particular, more than any other one on the album, really fucking hits. Just like he has a thing with the opening lines on this album. I mentioned Montezuma's opening lines really strong, and I think Blue Spotted Tail's opening line's really strong.
Yeah.
I think it's like, why in the night sky are the lights hung, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's evocative, right?
Yeah.
It's like it makes you like really picture what he's saying. This one, same thing. I was raised up believing I was somehow unique, like a snowflake distinct among snowflakes, unique in each way you can see. And then he goes on to say, like, but he doesn't want to be that way. He'd rather be a functioning cog in some great machinery,
I felt that. That was pretty cool.
serving something beyond me, right? Like, he doesn't want to be his own person. He wants to have a purpose, serve
Yeah.
a purpose.
It makes sense why that would kind of fuck you up in college.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
I feel like we were all told that. It's like, no, you're special. And it's like,
Right.
are we though?
Are you
I was
though?
never told that.
Oh, okay. I was
I'm just
told
kidding.
that.
You lie. You lie.
It's like, damn, all right.
I thought you were gonna say we've all cried to an album in college, and I would say absolutely.
I mean, I
I
cried
cried-
albums now.
I cried to
It was more so in college.
probably a
for me.
show of some sort, but like never to an album.
Really? Fuck. That's crazy.
We're showing this man.
That's
albums,
crazy.
Kyle.
You've never been at a point in your life where you were just listening to an album and it made you cry at all.
No, I've only cried to a couple
That's
of.
wild.
I've only cried to a couple of songs specifically, but also it wasn't sadness cries. It was, this is so hype, I'm crying.
You're what?
Oh, Jesus fucking
Man,
Christ.
for me, it was Frank Ocean's "Blonde" when it first came out.
Yeah.
And that was in a pretty tumultuous time in my life, and I was, man, that song could do it for me easy.
All right.
Wait, which song specifically? Nights?
I don't remember. It might have been Nights. It might have been. I mean, even Pink and White and like a White
It's
Ferrari.
great. Skyline 2?
The whole fucking album.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Blonde
because
is-
I would listen to the album front to back,
Blonde is a
and I would
banger.
skip like the Facebook song.
Facebook story. Yeah, fuck that.
So helplessness. But also, so he starts talking about the orchard towards the end of this song.
Yeah, if I had an orchard, I'd work till I'm raw.
I was like, at first I wasn't sure about that, but then I was like, I guess it's like, if he had something that he could believe in,
Yeah.
he would do that thing all the time.
Right.
Because at first I'm like, I don't know if you would, because working on a farm kind of is hard, dude. Like,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I guess, yeah, that's the whole thing is like, if I had
Working for a purpose.
the thing I know I wanted to do, I would do it every day.
Right.
Which I feel that because I still don't know what the hell I want to do.
Exactly.
I'm enjoying doing
Nor
this.
do I. Yeah.
So I'm doing it, but
Yeah.
like, I don't know what I like to do. So
Yeah.
like, and I felt that really hard. That was like that was really nice to be like, yeah, I feel that. I have no idea what I'm doing with my life either.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah.
I dug it.
Sweet.
And that didn't make you bump the song up on your list?
No.
Damn, rip. He was like, I feel it. But fuck this song.
Still not top 3.
I mean, I felt it with Montezuma too, with like because
Montezuma's
it's the
classic.
start of the whole theme of this album, and I was
Yeah.
like, no, I like the ones that made me go, yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
Dope.
The
So-
more immediate shit.
The next one was the Cascades. The
Trevor's fave.
My fave.
just the instrumental.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I feel you.
The
I mean,
guitars at the beginning, it was very Spanish feeling.
Yeah.
And then the cascading sounds of what was it, cymbals I think it was cymbals. Just sounded like water or rain cascading down. I was like,
Sometimes that's all you want is an instrumental song.
And it
I
was-
mean, one of my favorite Black Keys songs is called Black Mud, and that's purely instrumental. It's
Yeah.
fucking fantastic.
I love a good instrumental in the middle of like an album that has lyrics.
Yeah.
The band Real Estate does that a lot too, and they're really good at it.
Yeah.
I was surprised whenever it stopped, because I'm listening. I'm like, man, I'm digging this. What's it going to be about? And then it stopped, and I was like,
Fuck.
that was cool. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Let's go.
Also, it transitions into like that. That's my second best transition on the album, from the Cascades into Lorelei. It's got that like nice, really like methodical pace throughout
Lorelei's great,
Cascades,
too.
and then just like slap with Lorelei. Like that song hits right off the bat.
Super good.
I think
Yeah, the first like minute of Lorelei.
That
is
guitar
so
line
fucking
is
good.
so clean.
Like that's what really bumps Lorelei up on my
Yeah.
list is just the beginning and the start of the
It's
song.
really
It's
good.
just so good. Like I was really close with what was it? With Bedouin Dress
Mm-hmm.
and with Grown Ocean, but the start of Lorelei is just too good.
Yeah, Lorelei's great. Also, shout out Lorelei Gilmore.
There it is.
Gilmore
That's what
Girls.
the song's about.
Yeah, it's all about Gilmore Girls. It's not.
Oh, okay. I've never seen Gilmore Girls, so I don't know.
I just watched the entire show with my girlfriend. It's a great show.
I've heard good things.
So it's in my.
I
in my
really like the
headspace.
line, I was old news to you by then.
Yeah.
I was taking that as like he missed his opportunity with her, and so by the time they were able to reconnect or whatever, he was like it was like, oh yeah, I used to like you, but I've moved on with my life type that. So
Right.
he's old news at that point, and I was
Right.
like, damn.
Damn.
I have literally had someone tell me that exact thing with
Fuck.
like, man, at that point in time that would have been great, and I was like, why did you set me up with your friend then? But anyways,
Personal.
personal feelings on some of these, but
It's crazy how
That's
much
the
more you
beauty.
dug into the lyrics. I didn't even think about writing down lyrics at all.
Yeah, it's wild.
for some reason I wrote down bottle line. Oh yeah, something about drinking during this song as well, because he talks about a bottle at some point. So that's what I took it as, was like he starts drinking at some point during this. But
Yeah.
I don't know, and I really dug the ending with it was either a train. It sounded either like a train or a basketball.
That's what I thought it was. Somebody bouncing a basketball.
Yeah.
At first, I thought it was a train, and then as it like all the rest of the backing stuff went away, and it was just that noise, I was like, that's more like a basketball.
Yeah, they're great. They do a lot of like found sound or like field recording type of stuff. Even more so, again, on the next album. They have like audio of like waves crashing on a shore, and like again they do trains like clacking on train tracks and stuff like that.
Yeah, actually, between Blue Spotted Tail and Grown Ocean, that like transition 15 seconds or whatever it is it supposed to be quiet ocean sounds or is it just white noise?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Because I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't tell if it was just white noise and it was like really, really quiet, or if it was like
There wasn't
actually
definitely
something.
a noise there.
It was something, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was though.
I didn't even take a note on it for some reason.
Because it's
But-
for like a good amount of the end of Blue Spotted Tail going into Grown Ocean. But the next song on
Someone
the
you'd
list,
admire.
Yep, Someone You'd Admire.
So this one at first got me confused.
This is where I wrote on my first listen, I feel like the songs are starting to blend together. I
Yeah.
don't think like this song didn't really stand out to me.
I actually felt the same way about Blue Spotted Tail, though.
What? Blue Spotted Tail's so different.
What the fuck?
I know.
That's one of the most.
One of
that's
my-
like the most different song in the album, in my
Let's
opinion.
wait till we get to it. But yeah, like I have a
Because
little
the way
note.
it's mixed is so different.
Maybe
So-
I don't know, but anyways,
You guys thought the Shrine and Argument was blending together?
no,
No,
someone
Or
you
you
admire.
just specifically
s-
someone you'd admire?
I said, yeah, just Someone You'd Admire. I think because it was similar to other songs like Lorelei and Bedouin Dress and off my first listen.
Yeah.
That it felt like it was just another song added as a track.
Yeah.
That's
That's
why,
fair.
That's why I wrote that.
It's probably towards the bottom of my if I had to rank the entire thing, it would be towards the bottom.
It was
probably.
kind of,
I think it would probably be at the bottom for me.
Yeah.
And it's not because I dislike the song; it's because nothing stood out to me.
Yeah, agree.
I mean, I like the lyrics of this one because at first I was
Shoot him out. You're the write down boy.
At first I was yeah, okay, I'll look at the lyrics. Yeah. At first I was a little confused because I was like, who are these other people he's talking about? And then it was like, oh, okay, he's talking about himself. And there's like different parts of himself that are going to come out either during the relationship or something along those lines, where it's like it's either a person that's going to not like you or, oh my gosh, how do you look at the rest of the lyrics? Do you just keep scrolling?
That's it.
That's all the lyrics for this song?
Yeah. He spreads them out a lot.
Someone who would throw you on the fire or someone that you would admire.
Yeah.
Or the two things. And I'm like, that's really interesting that I guess as they develop, it'll either be someone that she really digs or someone that he, like, I guess in his mind, he'll end up just getting rid of her.
Right.
So, and I thought that was interesting. I thought that was kind of a cool story to the lyrics to me. But
Like that note is literally all I ever wrote about someone you admire. I didn't write about it again in my other two listens.
Yeah. It's not a bad song, but it's not a remarkable song either.
But yeah, then it goes into their second two-parter song, The Shrine/An Argument.
Yeah.
Which is a very interesting one.
It's the longest song on the album.
They would do some really dope shit in it.
I agree.
Like I said before, this one is the one that I would put higher if it was just with his belting vocals.
Yeah, there were some good vocals in it.
It was great, and I want more of those vocals.
So here's what I wrote in my first listen. Yeah, so the first note I put is he's got some great vocals.
Yeah.
That's what I wrote first off rip. And then I wrote breaks down at 225 and again at about 420. And then I said no drums, some sort of strange tone. And then 6:30 I put what am I hearing?
Yeah.
and then I wrote fucked up horns question mark.
Yeah.
And then at 7:40 I wrote is that a sitar? Which it might have been.
It probably was.
I don't know about that.
It sounded like a sitar.
I went to Wikipedia and looked at their like credits for the album, and I counted 20 plus instruments. So
dang,
it was definitely a sitar.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
For me, yeah, like one of my
Some Indian feel.
I have two separate notes that are like belting those vocals, some other note about the lyrics, and then damn, he needs to flex those vocals more often.
I agree.
And then my last note is horns are kind of cool, comma the argument. Possibly?
Yeah, that's what I.
So yeah, that was my thought on that.
But
as
with
well.
the vocals was the exact reason why I liked Blue Spotted Tail so much because
Yeah.
his vocals were elevated above everything else.
Yeah, for
More
sure,
so
but
than
he
the rest of the
didn't
album.
belt them like he did in
No,
this
but he
song.
didn't need to.
True, but I want more of those beltings,
crazy.
man. I want to
Yeah,
hear him
that's
belt it more. It
I'm
was
sh-
really good.
Yeah,
He's got a
I feel
voice.
like I'm shocked that you guys don't rate it higher. That's wild to me.
I love Blue Spotted Tail. I'm shocked y'all don't think Helplessness Blues, the title track, is as good as it is.
That's crazy too.
Because
I don't know why.
that's number one easy for me. Like, easy.
Different
Number one.
tastes.
For me, it's Montezuma and Blue Spotted Tail above everything else.
Yeah.
and then other things.
Yeah.
like
And
For
then-
me, it's Helplessness
pretty
Blues
easily.
and Montezuma above. No, but I mean, Grown Ocean, it's those three above everything else.
And then for me, it's just Cascade at the top,
Yeah.
which is wild.
instrumental.
Apparently,
But that's, I
I don't
mean-
think it's that crazy. I like the instrumental.
That's why
a
we're
lot.
doing this pod, because we all have different opinions. It's
different
great.
strokes for
Yeah.
different folks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it goes into Blue Spotted Tail.
Yeah, sweet. I mean, that's the best transition on the album to me.
Big love.
The contradiction of that fucking wild saxophone solo into like the really close, intimate, hushed strumming and vocal performance of Blue Spotted Tail
Yeah.
is like, I mean, you know,
Like I would love to be in the room for like a small concert where he's just playing that song.
fucking, I couldn't even
Like
imagine.
impromptu, like quick, like
I
3
couldn't
minute
even
set
imagine.
where he just jumps up and like
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's like very existential,
Yeah.
and the lyrics are wonderful.
it's raining
And
outside.
his humming is great. I mean, it's a really wonderful
It's a
song.
great song.
Yeah,
I feel it hard.
same.
I feel really bad about my note on here.
What'd you write?
Kind of cool. And I was like, because science about like why are the stars in the sky? I'm like, because they are. Good questions though. And then I said overall kind of
That's crazy.
I feel like as you guys
It's-
are like raving about how
it's at
good it is, I'm like, I
minimum-
thought it was okay. It was all right.
It's at minimum the fifth best song. on
That's
the album.
wild for me.
Yeah,
That's wild.
kind
to hear.
of. That song fucks me up.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. I feel like if I was in a different place, that song could for sure fuck me up.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I'll come back and listen to it and I'll be like, I was an idiot. But for now,
No,
You shouldn't.
I feel overall
You
it
shouldn't feel that way.
kind of eh.
That's
my
fair.
note on it.
music is a very personal thing.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
It couldn't be more personal.
No. And then it goes into Grown Ocean.
Yeah, the last track on the album, which
I'm
it's
digging
back like upbeat again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ends so nicely.
Yeah.
God, it's a fucking great album, guys. You
So
should,
what
you
I
should
wrote-
listen to this album.
This is actually the first time I wrote about lyrics.
There he is.
Nice.
I wrote talks about meeting up with someone after a long while in a dream ? And then I
Oh.
said solid last song.
Interesting. I didn't get any of that. I wrote. I dug the overall sound of the song. Thought it was really cool.
Nice and upbeat.
Figuring out life. Oh, I can't read that. Man, I need to work on my handwriting.
Trevor, he belts in this song too.
Yeah,
On the
He didn't feel it, my dude.
I
In
put the
the-
vocals and with the chimes was really cool.
he belts on this song though. He like gets to the upper range of his register like he does
I don't
on.
remember it as much as the other song.
So
And was this the other song with the apple in it? I forgot which other song had apples in it.
he says eucalyptus and orange trees are blooming. I don't think he mentions apples in it though.
He definitely mentions apples again in one of the other songs.
He
we
does.
talked
It's
about.
more than once in a song.
Like
for
the
sure.
green apple. I think it might have been in the argument.
This one he says, "In that dream I could hardly contain it. All my life I will wait to attain it." That's when he's like really belting.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm not gonna replicate it because it'll just sound terrible.
It would
But
be harsh.
how did you guys feel about the last lines where like the instrumental kind of fades out and then it comes back up with just like a 2 or 3 part harmony at the very end?
Mm-hmm.
Did that hit you guys at all?
I literally wrote down fitting end to the album.
Yeah.
I thought it was really nice.
I just wrote solid last song. Nothing
Okay.
particular.
Ah, fuck.
But I only listened to it 3 times. You've listened to it like 1,000 times.
I've listened to it. This, when iTunes was my main source of music and kept track of my plays, this was my most played album.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was lit.
I mean, I also had 25,000 songs on my iTunes at one point. So,
Yeah. Shout out LimeWire. Shout out FrostWire.
WinMX, Napster.
You're old enough
I'm
for
old.
Napster?
Yeah, dude. Fuck
Damn.
yeah, bro. I downloaded the first song I downloaded off of Napster was the Thong Song by Cisco.
Wow. Yeah.
That's to date where I was at.
The hell of
I
a
was-
song.
Hell of a
Came
song.
out, I think January 1st, 2000. Didn't it come out in the start of the new year?
I mean,
I'm pretty sure.
I wouldn't put it past it.
But yeah, no, I thought it was a great album. I would definitely recommend if you guys like folk, indie music,
Yeah.
like indie rock,
If you're susceptible to harmonies or lots of guitar or
a banjo here and there,
interesting instrumentation,
tambourine.
a
Good
band
old
that
fiddle.
would use 20
Fiddle
different instrumentals or instruments rather.
Yeah,
Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I'm glad you listened
yeah.
to it.
I will definitely continue to listen to some of my top songs, which is why I added them to my playlist and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I will say,
it a
lastly, if you guys listen to the album and you like it, if you want to listen to more, if you like the lighter, more harmonic ends of their music, go for their first album. If you like the more experimental, kind of out there, similar to like the Shrine and Argument type ends of their music, go for their third album, Crack Up. It's really nice to see like they're self-titled as kind of like quote unquote a lighter album. This one is a kind of in between album, and then Crack Up I think is like way out there, experimental and kind of darker in tone. The band also like kind of broke up in that 6-year time frame they took off.
Oh wow,
The lead singer went back to school. The drummer left the band and became famous in his own right under the name Father John Misty, if you're familiar with his music.
heard of him.
Yeah, so he was the drummer on the second album, but left the band
Gotcha.
as they toured on Helplessness Blues and made his own music. Anyway, yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And guys, drop your favorite track if you have listened to it, or if you listen to it because
Please.
of the podcast in
Please.
the comments. I would like to see what everybody thinks
Me too.
about the album.
I want to feel strongly about it and
Yeah.
be mad about it if you guys don't agree with me.
Yeah,
So,
thank you so much for showing us
Yeah,
this
thanks,
album,
man.
man.
absolutely.
It was good.
Gonna keep bringing the albums.
Yeah, and we'll catch you guys next time.